Yo, we just people from the north side. Once the Timmy's hit the shore fine. Winter ready on the full ties. Heavy traffic during 4-5. Gotta hustle on your own time. Color people every port side. We just people from the north side.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your host, your boy, George Mackay. And man, oh man, do I got a good one. I got my first TNA interview of 2025, and it couldn't be with anybody other than my good friend, Tessa Blanchard. She is back to Straight Talk. How are you, my dear?
George, how are you? I know when I saw you on here, I was like, man, it's been too long.
It has. It feels like the summer was literally more than, it's only been 6 months, 7 months, but it feels so much longer. We sat down in August and it was a great conversation, and man, so much has happened since then.
I know. I'm trying to get back out there soon. I miss it. I got to defend my championship. So hopefully soon.
Yeah, we did. I know CWF is definitely chomping at the bit to get you back down here for sure. Got to see you defend that title that you won back in August. But first things first, I got to say, when we sat down in August, we talked about, you having conversations with the wrestling organizations and companies, and nothing had felt right at the time. But then we saw everything. January changed. A lot of things. The landscape changed. What was it about that time, that timing, that felt right?
I have so much that I owe to CMLL, Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre, because when I stepped away from wrestling, they just opened their arms to me. They gave me an opportunity. The Mexican people, Arena Mexico. Heck, I moved my whole life out there. Senor Luteros, Julio Cesar Rivera, all of the women, Zuxis, Lluvia. I just think they're so incredible. And so it was a very difficult decision to kind of shut the door on that chapter of my life. But I started to think of my personal goals, what I want for my life, by when I want those things, like personally away from wrestling. And it felt like if I want my success in wrestling, if I want to continue that story, I got to do it now. And yeah, that was kind of the driving force in my decision. So when TNA and I spoke again, and they were going to Center Stage in Atlanta, I believe it was in December, and it was just like, okay, everything's starting to line back up. It feels right. So I'm going to listen to my gut. I said I always would. And here we are. It's been on an upward trajectory.
It's wild, right? I mean, I look at you on camera, and on camera, you are not the nicest person in the world. You're actually quite mean. But when I know you personally, you're a sweetheart. So I have to say,
don't tell people that. You're going to ruin my street cred, George.
I'm sorry. I'm going to ruin the rep. I apologize. But I love how you could turn it on and off in a whim. You can go from having that smile on your face to it's all business. And when I look at the TNA Knockouts division now, I see that is legitimately helmed by Masha Slamovich. She's a great champion. You've also got the partnership with WWE, NXT coming over, them sharing talent. I look at the possible matchups, and I look at what can be done. Like you and Cora Jade, you guys kind of share the same vision of how you should be perceived in pro wrestling. If I would say you're aligned, but only for the moment, in terms of a common goal.
I think the thing with Cora Jade is, because we have our match coming up this Thursday, it'll be her and I versus Masha and Lei Ying. And I think what it is she is the HBIC over at NXT, and that's everything that I am at TNA since I've taken my locker room back. And I think for the time being, because we have that common goal, that vision, if you will, I don't mind as aligning for the time being. But at the same time, a Blanchard wants gold. A Blanchard always has gold. So I'm going to let her handle Masha for the time being. But she's coming to my house and she started eating out of my refrigerator, and that's what I have a problem with. And so right now we're cool, but she's got to stay in her lane. So once she starts crossing over into my lane, that's where we're going to have an issue. For the time being, like I said, we're aligned in what we want, in the same mindset. I'm using her a little bit to get what I want. I think she's doing the same with me, just to tear Masha down a little bit before Sacrifice next weekend. But I'm okay with it, and I think she is too. We've got that same focus, that tunnel vision.
I like that. Tunnel vision is the best way to describe it. You're focused on the goals at hand right now. We're not looking forward to the future. We're looking forward to the moment. So you're teaming with Cora on Thursday, and then we have you and Lei Ying. at
That's
Sacrifice.
right. Friday Night Sacrifice, El Paso County Coliseum. It's jet setting to be a packed card, and not only a packed card, but a packed Coliseum. Tickets are flying off the shelves from what we've seen this week. We've been in El Paso doing a media tour. Just hitting just incredible from Univision to Telemundo to Kiss FM to NBC to Fox to it's just been an unbelievable media tour. Ross Foreman's done an incredible job. We've actually been able to become a part of the community out here in El Paso. We visited the memorial in the Walmart parking lot where the tragedy happened in 2019, and got to speak to some of the victims out there. We visited the El Paso Children's Hospital, spoke to some of the children going through chemotherapy at the moment, who actually love wrestling, and to put a smile on their face was something special. But emotions have been all over the place. They've been high, they've been low, they've been heavy. And it is a blessing to be back with TNA. It's a blessing to be a knockout again. It's a blessing to get to show my craft on this stage. And it's going to be a blessing to whoop Lei ass on Friday at Sacrifice.
Absolutely. You know, how hard is it to, I guess, put your focus on the match on the back burner while you're doing the media tour, while you're dealing with those terminally ill children, while you're going to such a special monument like that and experiencing all like loss and tragedy, but also experiencing hope, because that's what those two, if anything, those two moments mean to me is hope. And then of course you got to focus on your match.
I think I'm always very focused, but also I'm always ready. I'm ready for whatever opportunity, whatever this life throws at me, whatever TNA throws at me. I stay ready so that I don't have to get ready. That's not something that I have to switch gears on. It's just that's my normal. That's my lifestyle. Staying ready, staying training, staying in shape. I'm always in go mode. And when it comes to visiting all these people, but becoming a part of the community here in El Paso, who El Paso's been so hospitable to us, so amazing. The El Paso County Coliseum, Tony over there, they've just been they've gone above and beyond for TNA wrestling, and that's more than we can ask for. So that just that's natural. That's not something I have to switch gears for. It just feels like, Tessa's being Tessa. Tessa's the opportunity to be here, to perform with these people, to be so close to the border and have people from Las Cruces, from Juarez, from here in El Paso come to TNA wrestling, be interested in TNA wrestling and be a part of their growth. It feels very special.
I love that. I think that's a great answer. And of course, I mean, how exciting is it to be in the time of TNA where more eyes are on the product? The brand is back to being TNA. It's not Impact anymore. We've said goodbye to Impact and we're back to TNA. So we're repping the old guard, the old flag, but also carrying into this new age, and more eyes than ever are on the product right now.
I'm telling you what, I was with Impact Wrestling when we were running smaller arenas. We were running, for example, we were running Melrose Ballroom out in New York, and now we're going back to UBS Arena. It's and packing out the houses. We've gone toe to toe with some of the AEW, some of the Ring of Honor shows, and outsold them in terms of Curtis Colwell Center. That's crazy to me. The growth at TNA, they have something to be proud of. It's amazing. I do believe that with this partnership with WWE, it's beneficial to both parties. It's not just great for TNA, it's great for NXT and WWE as well. The mashups, the possibilities, the fantasy bookings, the possibilities are absolutely endless. And here's why. You have a TNA Impact episode or a WWE NXT episode, and you're seeing surprise after surprise. You're seeing a Moose show up over at NXT and call out their champion. You're seeing Masha Slamovich out in their crowd. You're seeing Cora Jade pop up over here. I know that there's plenty of matches I would like to have over on that side, but under the TNA umbrella. And it's an exciting time. I think the winners right now really are the fans.
Yes, 100%. Being a fan of pro wrestling as long as I've been, we've talked about histories of love for this business and getting to share it with my daughters and stuff like that. My wife being a fan, which is why I put the ring on it. If you can meet a beautiful woman that loves pro wrestling, you've got to put the ring on it, plain and simple. That's for all you gentlemen out there, okay? Don't shy away from a woman who knows the wrestling facts. Embrace it and love it. But I do have to ask, you mentioned earlier Cora Jade's eating out of your refrigerator, and you're okay to align yourself for now. But when may Tessa Blanchard step over and eat out of her refrigerator.
I'm telling you what, who knows? I always thought that that would be my path in my career. That would be, my camino. But right now, like it feels like my story kind of paused in TNA wrestling and Impact Wrestling, and I've kind of got to hit the resume button. And to mix it up with some of the knockouts right now is something incredibly special. You've got knockouts such as Masha Slamovich. You've got Heather by Elegance, who was Heather Reckless, who I'm personally a fan of. I would love to have a singles contest against her. We've got new surprises coming in. I'm confident in my abilities, but I'm more excited about the possibilities that I could have competing against these women. And who knows, maybe even because I've been training the past year in Lucha Libre action, I've been under Ultimo Guerrero and Tony Salazar out at Arena Mexico, training my hind end off. I would love to mix it up in maybe tag team action, because that became my normal over there, just those multi-women matches. So maybe that's in my future. But as far as this crossover, I am completely focused on TNA wrestling right now, but I will also seize any and every opportunity.
I like that. You've always been one to never shy away from the opportunities, and I appreciate that. But there's another opportunity we got to talk about. You once held the prestigious World Championship. That was paused. You never lost it. It was vacated, but you never lost it. After we kind of cement our goals in the Knockouts division, may we see another shot at you running at that heavyweight championship?
I always say never. Um, I also got to say, like, I'm completely grateful for all the people that I got to compete against in that locker room, from Sami Callihan, who's done so much for me personally. And to compete against him was not only an honor, but it changed who I was as a woman and an athlete. I think that Sami's absolutely incredible. Getting to work alongside Eddie Edwards, who's such an incredible mind in professional wrestling. I don't think he gets enough credit for that. Getting to tag with Moose, who's one of my best friends in the entire world. That's family. Getting to work with the Josh Alexanders and the Ethan Pages, the Rich Swans, the Ace Austins, the Trey Miguels. It was just, that's something that I don't have words for, because I'm so grateful for it and for each and every one of those talents. But also, it's such a powerful, empowering thing to say that I'm a knockout, to say that I'm a TNA knockout, get to be a part of that locker room, to be a part of that locker room with such incredible and strong, gifted women. I think that's something that I really want to place my focus on for the time being. I always say never though. So who knows?
I got to ask, because I know you're a fan of professional wrestling just like I am. And we have seen the landscape of professional wrestling change within the last 7 days. So, I mean, I'm sure you're watching Elimination Chamber. I got to get your thoughts. I was there. I saw John Cena kick Cody Rhodes in the no-no area. What was your thoughts when you saw the ultimate babyface switch up and go heel? I mean, we're all fans at the end of the day.
Hey, man, we never saw it coming. But, like I said, in this time in pro wrestling, you got to expect the unexpected. It would be amazing to see some of those guys cross over for the first time and see them perform in a TNA ring. Have some people that have performed in TNA, some of those legends that are now in WWE, cross over and come back. I think it's a time where the fans are the winners. I think it's a time where you see things you just don't expect. I think that pro wrestling right now is jaw-dropping, and that WWE and TNA wrestling are owning the game right now.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And I look at the storytelling, I look at building characters, I look at building stories, and I would say that this on par is probably the hottest pro wrestling has ever been. I would even say it's hotter than the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era was filled with jaw-dropping moments, sure, and it was filled with questionable things, and it was filled with a lot of nudity. If we go back and watch it, it's crazy. But I look at pro wrestling now, and it is definitely the hottest it's ever been. Pop culture phenomenon that it always was. I mean, pro wrestling goes through peaks and valleys, and I think we're experiencing a serious peak right now. And I mean, you're living it, you're breathing it, you're getting to tell your second version of the story, the second chapter, if you will. I know you're not taking it for granted, but what's it like being involved in this world right now, where you said it yourself, expect the unexpected?
I think this go around, Mike Santana and I were talking about it on this media tour, is we have this in common, is that, this go around, it's personal. This is personal to me. It's personal for a long list of reasons. But in a world where there might not be a lot of people that might want to see me succeed, enjoy the freaking show, because I am someone that does not give up. I am someone that if I get knocked down, I do get up. It might take a minute, but I am resilient AF. And I might have taken some back roads. I might have taken some detours, but right now I'm back on course, and I'm not the same Tessa that I was. And that's a really exciting thing to say. I was one hell of an athlete then. Who would I be scared if you're going up against me now?
Well, Li Ying is, and we all know that Li Ying is, she's no slouch herself, but I feel that you two are going to leave that match different. And I don't mean on a physical level, I mean on a mental level. You're both going to leave each other with some impressions. But I ultimately
she's
think
incredible. She's someone that trains in so many different disciplines. She's a complete monster. I follow her on social media, so I'm watching her training. I'm not taking her abilities for granted. But at the end of the day, pressure makes diamonds, and that's exactly what I am. Li Ying Li is absolutely amazing, but she is no diamond, and she's going to find that out at Sacrifice.
Well, we won't have to wait too long. This episode is going to drop on the Monday, guys. 5 days, before we get to Sacrifice. I've already purchased it. I'm ready to watch it. El Paso, you have no idea the amazingness that you're going to see, and it's going to be available. Like I said, Triller TV. You order it, guys. Get ready. It's going to be hot. It's going to be awesome. And, of course, don't forget to check out TNA on Thursdays on Sportsnet here in Canada anyways. Stateside, worry about it stateside, but Canada, we rep Sportsnet, okay? That's what we do.
Stateside, get over to El Paso. Come on.
That's right. There's still a few tickets left, but not many. But like you said, they're flying off the shelves. And you know what? Right. I mean, we got to talk about this real quick before I let you go. TNA is coming to Brampton. And I live in Brampton.
That's right. We're coming back to Canada. And yes. I am looking forward to it personally. You're going to have to be there in person. We're going to have to do one of these sit downs in person again. Catch 150%. Up a little. Maybe over some poutine or ketchup chips. Who knows?
Maybe. I'll bring both to you. And of course, I did promise you pasta. So my wife is only 15 minutes from the CAA Center.
I forgot about that. You said she's one hell of a cook.
Do I look like I've ever missed a meal? Come on. Do I look like it?
I'm a pasta person, if you remember. So
I do. We're gonna get.
Tim Hortons. Ross just said that. Tim Hortons.
Every time I see Ross, I bring him Timbits, and he always tells me it's never enough. I'm gonna bring him a 50-pack now.
My large French vanilla man.
Yeah, I know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Tessa Blanchard. Thank you so much for coming back to Straight Talk Wrestling. And before I let you go, I gotta ask. Look in the camera, give me that Blanchard energy, and let people know they gotta check out Straight Talk because you and I always have a good time.
Guys, it's Tessa Blanchard, the undeniable diamond of professional wrestling, the undeniable diamond of TNA wrestling, La Peligrosa, La Única. Next Friday at Sacrifice, it's going down, but I want you guys to tune into Straight Talk.
I love it. That's it for this one, guys. I always love getting a chance to sit down with anybody from the TNA roster. It is one of my favorite rosters next to WWE. So, guys, don't forget to check out this interview. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good things. And don't forget to check out Sacrifice, literally, in 6 days. From when we record this, 4 days from when we drop it. Peace, love, and wrestling.
Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, it's my honor and privilege for you to come on my show and give me some time. So I always appreciate you. That's it for this one, guys. Peace, love, and wrestling. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Yo, we just people from the north side. Once the Timmy's hit the shore fine. Winter ready on the bow ties. Heavy traffic during 4-5. Gotta hustle on your own time. Color people every port side. We just people from the north side.